All right, we're going through my manga list, basically just talking about all these different series, and kind of giving you an opportunity to say, please, please, please read this on the channel or whatever. Um, we only have so much time, and reading things on the channel and talking about them takes a lot longer than just reading them myself. So if it doesn't feel like I have something interesting to say about it, then I usually just kind of read it myself. So I don't know. It's more up to you though. This is a very strange series by the guy who did Beelzebub. I started reading this. It looks like it's finished now, so maybe we'll finish reading it at some point. It was kind of fun, kind of interesting. It had some definitely very subversive twists. I don't remember how far we got into it, but maybe we'll finish reading it on the channel at some point. It's not too much longer, so it's doable. This, I think, was just like a one-shot, wasn't it? Oh, it was like a 3-chapter thing. It was quite nice. Just a little Yuri story. I would recommend it. The art is quite good. Here we go. Oh boy. So this is the first example we have of what looks like a really flourishing genre now, which is like a bully core of stories of a male protagonist being teased and bullied by the female protagonist. And this slowly, very slowly inching its way towards a outright mutual romance story. And this one is really well done, I think. I think that the character of Nagatoro is expertly realized, that Nanashi knows how to tap into the deep, deep subconscious desires of his readers, mostly by reflecting his own, what do you call them? There must be a better word than fetish. But yeah, this is really becoming quite a masterpiece, I think. Only if you like certain stories and you like certain characters, but if you do, like, oh boy. What was this? No description. Looks like a Yuri story. Can't stop myself from wanting to know more about you. I don't remember this one at all. I'm sorry. I guess I'll read it again. Let's see what I think. This one is pretty silly. It's about this girl, Mino-san. She's shy. She is kind of stern looking, but has sort of an innocent side to her too. She also has a lot of strange quirks, like she eats exclusively cabbage. She's very tall. She has very well-defined abs, large breasts, and she has horns. And this series, like, isn't really about that. Like, it only comes up very infrequently that she has horns. But they're like very much really there. They're very physically there. And all of these other like cow-like properties of her, of course, connect with that. And yet they don't ever explain it, and they never really go too far with focusing on it. It's really bizarre, very silly. I don't know. It's all right. This I just started reading recently. I'm not caught up on it yet. The premise is great. This girl used to be the #2 of the entire demon realm, and then based on the hero defeating them and destroying this gem of power, she's sent to the human world with basically no powers whatsoever. She can't even maintain her normal form and shrinks down into this little girl. She basically has to scrimp and save and try to make money and tries to restore her power. Lots of other wacky hijinks ensue. A more expanded cast of other wacky people get involved. It's a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it. I don't know if I'll read it on the channel at any point, because what can I really say about something like this? It's just silly fun, with the odd heartwarming moment too. You probably can guess just from the premise where it's going. Eventually she will fall in love with the human world and not even want to go home. This is a Mahjong manga that I was reading. Where is it? I was reading it on Batoto. So I guess they haven't uploaded them here yet. But I remember it being kind of nice. We'll try to find more eventually. This is another silly 4-koma girls hanging out. Oh, this isn't a 4-koma, but it is just girls hanging out. It reminds me a lot of Natural Born Heisei. It's the same vague kind of archetypes. It's a lot of fun. The character designs are nice. The art is nice. It's a good one. A good one. Oh yeah, I started reading this. I guess not much has been scanlated yet. It's very silly. She becomes an assassin, and she's just out there killing people. And yet, it's treated as if this isn't really a big deal at all. It's the author that did Tsurezure Children, which I haven't actually read that much of. I read a bunch of these 4-koma at one point. So at some point we'll read this too. This is fantastic. Sure. This is... I started reading this. Oh, it's ended. Okay. Well, we'll read the rest of this at some point. I made a few videos of this way back in the day. It's pretty great. It's a 4-koma. A double wide 4-koma. You ready for this? Look at this. Why don't more series do this? I think it's great. Double wide 4-koma. 1 4-koma per page. So it's about an editor at a manga magazine and just the trials and tribulations she goes through. It is by the same author who does Takagi-san, which I haven't started reading yet, and Mitsuboshi Colors, and Bochi. No, sorry, not Takagi-san. Sorry. I just saw the forehead, and I thought it was Takagi-san man, but it's Bochi man, and Mitsuboshi Colors man. Why am I not following Mitsuboshi Colors? All right, done. But yeah, a great mangaka, great sense of characterization and empathy and cuteness. So I'm looking forward to reading more of this. I think we only read like 2 chapters at the time, and I don't think there was anything else scanlated yet, but they picked it up. Good. All right, we made it through page 1. Let's plunge into page 2. Kono fuku kawaii sugiru, kawaii sugiru, oshare, soroi de, oyo. It's like, wow, these clothes are so cute. It's like rousing, isn't it? I think, I don't know. So this is Kobayashi-san Chi no Maid Dragon, of course. We are a little bit behind on it. Both of these chapters have very intriguing names, so hopefully we'll get to read them soon. A very, very strange and bizarre series that emerged as Cool Kyoshinsha's kind of flagship title. It has a bajillion spin-offs now, and a Kyohani anime, and I will never, ever stop talking about how insane that is. The plot is the kind of thing that he normally writes. A dragon turns into a busty maid and hangs out with this office worker girl, and then a whole bunch of other fetishy dragons show up. And yet somehow it has kind of landed the status of this masterpiece in all sorts of ways. Yeah, it's a great series. Very funny, very heartwarming. This is one of the spin-offs. This one is about Elma. I haven't started reading this at all, but I'd like to at some time. Wow, there's yet another one about Lukoa. All right. Well, I bet I know what's going on there. And yet another one about Kana. So will we read these at some point? Hopefully, maybe not on the channel. I don't know if there's really that much going on in them compared to the mainline Maid Dragon series, where kind of all the major plot developments happen. But these are nice characters, so I don't mind seeing more of them. This is another Cool Kyoshinsha series. Komori-san Can't Decline. About this girl, Komori-san, who's extremely helpful and can never turn down a request. We're a bit behind on it. I don't know if I'll read it on the channel. I don't know if there's really that much interesting I can say about it, but it's a nice series. It's very cute. It's got hetero romance, which is rare for Cool Kyoshinsha, but I like how it's done. This series is great. This is Takagi-san man, because you can tell the foreheads are even larger than the person I mistook them for. So yeah, I want to read more Takagi-san at some point. I don't know why I'm not following this. I was reading this. Did it switch from a... Yeah, see? Look, because it got scanned like a full serialization. So now I'm behind. Alright, so I'll have to read this at some point too. Anyways, we're just making the list longer as we read it. These videos will never end if I keep adding things to this list. But yeah, this is a really nice series. It's about ninjas, ninja shenanigans and antics and stuff. They've never met boys. They live in a women-only ninja village. So our main character here is fascinated by them and really wants to meet a man. And a lot of the shenanigans kind of ensue because of that. But it's really nicely developed cast. Everyone in the village ends up being kind of a known character. What the heck? Why is it a shared universe with all of these? That's crazy. But it's really well drawn, really good like ninja fights and stuff. It kind of reminds me of like old school Naruto, where they're actually using ninja techniques and substitutions and shurikens and disguises and stuff, and not just my summon is using an energy blast. So I don't know, maybe in like 20 volumes this will turn into that too, but I kind of doubt it. Yeah, it's really fun, really cute, good times. This one is very silly. I'm pretty far behind on it. But it's quite the premise. It's this girl, Madoka-chan, because Mado, of course, is window. She hangs out in front of her window, and when this businessman walks by, she calls him over and then silently does some sort of little parody type display. So in one, she has a little cherry blossom bough set up to watch, or a shooting range like at a festival or a Chinese restaurant, or, you know, you can kind of guess what all of these are. Sumo wrestler. But yeah, it's quite a fun premise. I really like manga that has this sort of limited scope, you know, that it's just kind of iterations on this one formula. I find that like very soothing and comforting, and just the idea of someone reading it each week and seeing the shenanigans that ensued. Yeah, it's quite a cozy idea. Okay, this is a spin-off of Nisekoi. It's very fan servicey, as you can tell. This is by the person who ended up making We Can't Study. So that's kind of the lineage, I guess. Oh no, is critical? You should tell me before it's critical. My mouse's battery is dying, but luckily I have the table right here. How does it leap from no warning at all to critical? Lordy, lordy. Anyways, I don't think I've read all of this. I think maybe I read like the first couple of volumes. But I'll read it all at some point. It's fun, it's silly, the art is good. Ah, my ball. It just ended. I can't believe it ended. I still can't believe it ended. And I'm still kind of scared to read the final chapter. I just feel terrible. Like I really wanted way more of this series. I really liked it. I love the characters. I love the soccer action. I think a lot of people were complaining about the pacing, that the games just went on too long. But I actually love that. I mean, I'm an Akagi fan. I'm a Fukumoto fan. I'm in it for the long haul. I love the sense of hugeness that a battle can take on when you've been following it for years and years of real time. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm sad that it ended. Good soccer series. This we're reading on the channel. It's about headphones. It's pretty great. Stacks are coming up. We're going to look at some electrostatics. Oh my lord. Really well drawn, really evocative descriptions of what the headphones sound like. Check it out. Oh yeah, this is a fun Yuri harem series. Only one chapter scanlated, which is disappointing. Hopefully more will come. Basically, it's this normal-looking girl who, in every avenue of her life, has girls just tripping over themselves to fall in love with her. It's quite fun. Art is very cute. Mitsuboshi Colors. This is by the author of Bochi. It's really great. Huh? Huh? Where are they? Maybe the comments will explain. Okay. So I gotta go figure out where they're actually being released. Sure. That's fine. This is by the author of Yuru Camp. It's about the photography club. And it has a lot of the same appeals because they're always going out to picturesque locations, just like in Eurocamp, of course. I know that there's more of this because I've seen whole volumes of it in Japan, but it looks like only one chapter has been scanlated, which is too bad. So hopefully more of that in the future. This is an insane series about the president of Japan resolving, or Prime Minister of Japan, sorry, resolving international conflicts with people throughout all of history with Mahjong. Look at all of these tags. Lordy, lordy, lordy. I'm surprised there isn't a Mahjong tag yet. At any rate, I guess this isn't entirely Mahjong. The Mahjong they play is the most extreme you can imagine, with all sorts of blatant cheating and insane techniques, and it's fantastic. To give you just an example from early on in the series, so as not to spoil you, you know in Mahjong there's the blank tile, the haku. Well, in order to complete his hand, he needs another haku. So very quickly he rubs the marking off of another tile to make it into a haku. Such is his strength. He needs to do this to defeat Bush Jr. and Sr. on the aircraft carrier. Oh, it's so great. And the art is crazy, and the effects and stuff are crazy. This artist went on to make one of the millions of Saki spin-offs, Reets, the story about the creator of Saki. It's fantastic. Oh, it's just so fantastic. Okay. This I haven't read at all yet. I just marked it down as something to remember to read in the future. I've heard it's really great. It's about art school, which I'm always super into. Yeah, this sounds really interesting. So I am looking forward to reading it. Apparently it's only 1 volume long. That doesn't seem right, but whatever. Check it out. This is a wonderful, wonderful series that unfortunately only has a few chapters scanlated. Wow, 21 hours ago. What the hell? What kind of blessed occurrence is this? That previous chapter 8 months ago, and then just it so happens less than a day ago, chapter 4 finally comes out. Yeah, this is so great. It's about girls that are into traditional instruments. So you can see her playing that old guitar. What's that called? A biwa? No, that's something else. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, it's really nice. The way they depict the music is just so enchanting. It really is one of the most beautiful depictions of music I've seen in manga, and that is something that I am constantly on the lookout for. So it's saying a lot when I say that. So yeah, good one. Check it out. I don't remember this one too well. They're cooking, huh? It looks like I caught up probably with these back when I was on Batoto, and then I haven't read any more yet because nothing more has been released. Sure. They really cooking, huh? Nichijou, of course, we've read quite a bit of on the channel. I don't know if we finished reading it on the channel. I have all the volumes now, and I don't even think I've read the end there. I know I got very close to the end. I got to some stuff that I knew was sort of approaching the end, and then the sentimentality became overwhelming, and I couldn't bring myself to actually close it off. So we'll finish reading it at some point, probably on the channel. Wonderful, wonderful series. An absolute masterpiece in every regard. And of course, the adaptation is among my favorite anime of all time, all time, all time. This is a really nice series. I kind of like to read this on the channel sometime. It's pretty interesting, kind of mysterious. It's about this girl who goes to train with this elder witch as her apprentice witch. They live out in a wonderful enchanted forest. They do things like collecting herbs and making medicine and conferring with the town, and it's really nice. The character of the stronger sensei witch is very intriguing. I kind of like any kind of understated power type character, and you just kind of wonder what wonderful and mind-blowing thing will she have an opportunity to do next. So it's great. This is Ojo Jojo, a fairly straightforward romance series from Cool Kyoshinsha. Nothing too absurd, nothing too unbelievable. We were reading this for a while. I was really enjoying it, so we will read some more at some point. I hope. It's quite nice. This is Okusan, I was talking about in the last video, that takes place in the same universe as the Ashitaba-san family. Once again, really nice slice of life stuff. Really, really well illustrated, extremely detailed backgrounds, a Yotsuba-esque pacing and focus, just the small delights of real life. And yet the whole time in every one of these scenes, we got our titular Oku-san, and I do mean titular. And it's like, it's kind of surreal, and it kind of reminds me of Cool Kyoshinsha and stuff too, that it's like, this wasn't necessary. You already had a fantastic idea and a fantastic talent and the wherewithal to really see it through the way that it ought to be done, and yet it's like you really get the sense that he couldn't resist, that it had to be the way it's like, I don't know what a medium this is, you know. You would never see that in anything that was done by committee. You would never see that in like a Hollywood movie. Well, I mean, what am I saying? Of course Hollywood movies are going to have like fan service and attractive leads and stuff, but never to this bizarre distraction from something completely different. It would be like if you went to like a like more of like an Oscar bait movie, like something that's supposed to be serious and dramatic, like a family drama or something, and everyone just looked like this. It would just be absurd, right? Or like anything, like it just, it's so strange to me, but it's, you know, that's just what manga is like. Um, it's just how it is, man. It's a wonderful series, a really wonderful series. One Piece Party. This was a bizarre spin-off of One Piece where, oh, okay, well, hopefully we can find more of these at some point. It's really quite fun, and if you're a big One Piece fan, as I am, it's just packed with little details and gags and Easter eggs and stuff that it's very satisfying to find. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Hopefully we get to read more of it at some point. One Punch Man. You know what this is. This is the first time I've seen this volume cover. It's pretty cool. Usually we read this on MangaDex, but I follow it here as well. For no reason, I guess. I don't know. Sometimes the chapters get redrawn, so I've been kind of going back and rereading those. Not on the channel, just because there's not really that big a difference, but it's kind of neat. Sure. This is the webcomic of One Punch Man, which of course you already know or ought to know. In and of itself, a masterpiece. In some ways, I think still better than the remake. And then always going in brand new directions. This is the cutting edge, the forward edge of the plot. I haven't read this yet. I guess that's why I put it on this like to read thing. Whereas normally I just click reading because that's like the default. But whatever. I've heard this is good. I don't really know that much about it. But for some reason, I decided to put it on my list. Maybe somebody suggested it. So we get to it eventually. This is a nice series. It's like 1 page a day. So it looks like I'm really far behind, but I'm only like maybe 2 chapters worth behind. Because of this page a day thing, I kind of don't think we'll read it on the channel. Also, it's just kind of like a straightforward 4-koma. It's a romance between this guy who dresses like a girl and sort of acts like a girl and works at a cross-dressing cafe, and this girl that's always been very skittish around guys, who slowly falls for him. And then there's like a nice expanded cast, and they actually talk about people who are trans, and they talk about people who cross-dress and kind of the differences between them and all the different ways that you can express your gender, and it's really lovely, and it's kind of rare for manga to treat this more seriously and to have it just like, well, this is who he is, and let's learn about him and why he is the way he is, and this wonderful, complete, sympathetic portrait of the character, and not just kind of like as a gag or as a fetishy thing. So I'm really quite impressed with it. I'm looking forward to getting caught back up on it at some point. Hopefully soon. It's a good one. This is a really bizarre series by Asano Sensei. There's only one volume of it. I feel like I've read the whole volume of it. I know we read a bit of it on the channel way back in the day. Maybe I'll go through and make sure I've actually read all of it at some point. It's so bizarre. It's so bizarre. I don't even know how to begin describing it. But I guess you could call it his gag series. And it has the same sort of twisted detachment as other gag series. This Ping Pong Boss. It's about this boss who plays ping pong. I read a bit of it. Maybe I'll finish reading it at some point. It was alright. It's very silly. It's just the guy who's good at ping pong. They're like, wow, the boss is really good at ping pong. This is like the actual Pokemon Adventures. This is like the official mainline Pokemon manga that has been going through the plot of each and every one of the games. The scanlation for it has been kind of sketchy and all over the place. Like certain parts are done by certain groups and then other parts are kind of left unfinished and blah, blah, blah. I knew that there was a bunch of chapters of this in Batoto, and I was like kind of working my way through it. But maybe those groups don't scanlate onto Batoto, or maybe they just weren't transferred over from, they don't scanlate onto MangaDex, maybe they weren't transferred over from Batoto. But I'd like to look into it some more. I'd like to read this at some point. It's like really great, you know. It like actually gets into the adventures of Pokemon. Like it like actually follows the events of the games and stuff. I'm getting a little confused though, because like maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm getting mixed up. Maybe this isn't it. Is it this? No. No. Oh, whatever. Okay, well, at some point we'll figure this out. There is a Pokemon comic I want to read. You know the one I'm talking about. It's been really good from the parts that I have read. It really gets into what I love about the Pokemon games. So, whatever. Pop Team Epic. You already know what's up. There is no darkness but ignorance. It's great. Yep. This is Reets. As I said, it was illustrated by the guy who did Koizumi. It's pretty great. It's really great. I really highly recommend checking this out. It's so bizarre. I bought this because I just love it so much. This was, yes. So I read some BL on the channel a while ago. Go for it, Nakamura-kun. And I really liked it. So I asked people to recommend me like similar series. This is one of them. I haven't gotten to it yet, but you know, I'm down. Looks like a nice couple. His hands are slightly too large, but not full-on yaoi hands territory, so I'm into that. Oh, this one. This one is really silly. So basically, she falls asleep every class, and she goes to great lengths to hide the fact that she's asleep. She's dignified asleep, and she has all sorts of strategies for doing things that allow her to take just long naps without anyone caring. And it kind of has a similar feel to, what's that one about the kid who's always doing like experiments at his desk and doing silly gags and stuff and trying to distract the girl who sits next to him? You know the one that got an anime a bit ago? It kind of has the same energy as that. The first volume has been scanlated. It looks like the second volume hasn't been yet, but it's fun, sure. This is Saki, of course, the Moe Mahjong masterpiece. What an empire. Look at this. Well, a lot of these are dojins, but wait, what is this? What? What? Dang, from Meki Meki too, who does Toki? Alright, I'm into that. The heck? Wait, I thought they did Toki. Who did Toki? Oh, Meki Meki with a space. Alright, great. It's clearly the same person. Alright, well, you know what Saki is. It's an empire. It'll take over the world. This is a manhwa I kind of remember this. I don't really remember what was going on in it, so maybe I'll reread it. Figure that out. The title implies a lot. I bet this girl's amazing at swimming, and this girl's only kind of amazing at swimming, and she's jealous of her, but then also falls in love with her. Wouldn't that sound nice? Oh god, this. Oh my lord. This is like. Alright. Here it is. Here it is. The greatest analogy of all time. And this is how we're going to end the video, is with this dumbass analogy. You know how we had Nisekoi? And Nisekoi was like pretty good, but it had a whole lot of stuff going on that really didn't need to be there. And then We Can't Study came out, and it just kind of cut away all of those elements. It was a much more straightforward story, and it just delivered on exactly what people want, day in and day out. This is like if you did the same thing, but with 2 Love Ru. That sound super interesting to you? Then you should pick it up. Because for all of the garbage that we see in these tags, I think this is somewhat of a masterpiece. And with that, we'll end part 2 of the manga list exploration. And I sure wouldn't blame you if you didn't join me for part 3 after I said something that stupid. Okay, all right, let's see what's next.